this neighborhood garage Mike. Today I'm working on my Polaris Razor. As you can see, I had a little too much fun. I blew the back out of the transmission case, tore up the snorkel gears. So I was going to show you a little bit today on how to set that stuff up. Here's the new case half. I've got the new snorkel gear and shaft in. Got my bolts in. They're Loctited. You tighten them at 10 foot-pounds of torque. Put your gears in. And what you want is to set it up with 0 backlash. And then, right inside here, these holes, you turn it and rotate it clockwise about 3 turns to get your backlash. Now, it's kind of backwards because you back it out and bring the gear to you to get rid of the backlash, and then to give it some, you go back in to push the gear away. So what you do is you turn it 3 turns. It has these bolts that go in here. One of them is a long bolt. These other 3 are short. This one goes through the snorkel gear, and I'll show you. This is basically your bearing retainer and how you set your backlash. It has these notches in it. So that's what we're doing with this hole right here. I actually got an Allen wrench so I can stick in there to see where I'm at. So once you find your spot, then you turn it 3 times and then check your backlash and see where you're at. And they make this nice little tool right here. It goes in here to take it out, put it back in. So now I've adjusted my backlash. You can hear it. So now I'm ready to put Loctite on my bolt, stick it down in this hole, and that's what will hold it into place where it won't back out. Hope this helps on installing a snorkel gear. Moving forward, what I do is I take my case and I put a block of 4x4 under it, put it to the edge of the table where you can get your shaft through there, your main drive, and then you put these 3 shafts in all at the same time. You can see where the bearings go. Just ease it in there. After you get it all cleaned up good, lube up your bearings, and all this will go together nicely. Okay, so I put the final drive in. As you can see, the bearing goes down in the case. I've lubed up the bearings, made sure everything fits tight. I've turned everything, make sure it's all free. I put in both shift fork assembly here. It's got these that stick out, and that is for your shift lever hooks here. Whenever this turns, it's what moves the shift forks back and forth for park, reverse, neutral, drive. So I'm going to put this in, and after that it should be ready to put the case half on. Okay, one more final thing before I put the case half on. Make sure everything's spinning freely, nothing's binding. All looks good. On the case half, you want to put just enough silicone, just to barely smooth on there. You don't want it oozing out and getting inside your gears or anything, so just barely put some, just enough to coat it. Lube up where your bearings are going to go, that way it goes together nicely. Put the case half together and start bolting it on. Okay, so the case half is on. All the bolts are in and torqued to 20 foot-pounds. Now we got our shift linkage. Here's a shift shaft. First gear right here. It actually has a timing mark on it. It only goes on the shaft one way. Make sure you put this in drive. That way we can time it. So you rotate this till it fits on there. It only fit one way. And then your second gear right here, if you look, it's got 2 dots that go down here. You line it up with those 2 dots, so it's in time. Then next, shift shaft. It only goes in one way, it's splined. And here's for your park ball. It goes on one way, it's splined. Just rotate it till it slides on. There it goes. And then this here is for your park pawl. Slide it down on there. And then you put your spring and it goes right here on that cog and up against the case. I'll have to set the phone down to put that on. Okay, so the spring's on here to hold the shift lever D10 into place, so it's in drive currently. And then you have an O-ring you put right here on the shaft, and then put your top plate on and torque it down. Okay, so now we've got just a little bit of silicone on here just to keep it from leaking. Slide our cover on. It's got an O-ring on each shaft to prevent it from leaking. Now we'll just put the bolts in, torque them down. Okay, now it's time to put our sensor on for the indicator for what gear we're in. First, put that washer back on. Sensor, it's got a slot, line it up, put it on there. Then you have like a wave washer. Then you put your snap ring on and you're ready to plug it in and go. And that's a quick video on how to put a Razor transmission back together. I hope this video helped you. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Have a good day.